I'm going to a party.
And it's a party I didn't realize I was headed towards 10 years ago.
There is a very big problem on Canadian roads. It's our drivers. The most abysmal motorists in the entire country will be coming here, so we can put them through basic training in a very cool assortment of vehicles. And the people who create our courses have come up with the most intimidating challenges they've ever designed. The only thing that hasn't improved is the skill level of our nominees. This is Canada's worst job. This is Canada's worst. Canada's worst driver.
It's been a long road to get through the last decade, which is why this year we're celebrating.
It's basically gonna be an ongoing party. What should we call this party, I wonder? Canada's worst driver! Season 10!
How can this keep happening?
Oh my God, Spencer!
We're on a one-way. Whoops.
After 10 years of dealing with the most dangerous motorists in the country, the worst ones should have already been exposed.
Oh my God, oh my God.
And they were exposed.
What am I supposed to do? I can't do it.
But more keep appearing.
Sure, I go like this. I don't know what I'm looking at.
This year, over 500 people were nominated as the most atrocious license holder in the entire country.
The light's red. The light's red. Stop.
Where?
Stop.
And in some way or other,
I give up then.
No.
No, I don't want to do it.
all 500 of them should be in our driver rehabilitation center.
I'm not really good at anything.
But alas, we only have room for 8.
Whoa!
And these folks are those 8 people. So now, let me utter the most frightening sentence I've ever uttered 10 years in a row. One of these 8 people is Canada's worst driver. Canada's worst driver. One of you really is Canada's worst driver. Canada's worst drivers shouldn't have driver's licenses, but they do have them, which is why we're still in business. This year, at our famous rehabilitation center, we will be trying to teach the 8 most dangerous drivers in the country safe car handling skills.
Swerve really hard, stabilize, and only then get on the brake.
But getting through to these people will take more wood,
Oh my God!
more foam, more water, and more patience than ever before.
Oh, shit!
So, before your rehabilitation can begin, you're gonna have to get yourselves to the rehabilitation center, and to do that, you're gonna have to drive yourself, all right?
Directions for this year's 90-minute drive to the rehab center are contained in these envelopes. And those directions will route the bad drivers through some major intersections, past Niagara Falls, and across a couple of bridges before landing them in our hallowed institution.
Cheney, you wanna go first?
Sure.
Let's make
Let's
this
go.
happen.
Cheney, the proud mother of a 6-year-old boy, needs to drive her son to school and herself to work.
All right.
Cheney has had a driver's license for 9 years.
I never took driver's ed and I wasn't really taught how to drive, so kind of just winged it.
According to Cheney's boyfriend, Jeremy, winging it isn't working.
The no shoulder checking and the selfies and the lipstick, it all adds up.
Selfies? If you're driving for an hour, how many selfies?
Depends. Like, I don't know, maybe like 15, 20, I don't know.
15
I
or
don't
20
know.
selfies while driving?
I
Really?
don't know, it just depends.
You're gonna get yourself turned around here and go out there and hit the road.
Okay.
How do I turn around?
After 10 years, you'd think I'd be used to it. Should I turn around?
Do I have room? Can you help me?
Canada's worst driver.
Okay.
Headed to the driver rehabilitation center, Cheney does ignore her cell phone,
Like, what's a road
I
sign?
think it's.
but she's also ignoring the traffic lights.
Oh, I guess I should go.
Oh, right to red.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I did not go there.
At home in Calgary, missing red lights is a common problem for Cheney.
Cheney. That's a red light. He just went through red light. Watch these guys, watch these
Oh
guys.
my God!
Watch these guys.
Cheney grew up on Prince Edward Island,
That guy's giving me the finger.
and PEI is where she got her driver's license 9 years ago.
I learned how to drive the day before I had to take the test.
Cheney says she should have failed her driving test, but
Yield.
What does yield mean?
the man testing Cheney passed her.
He just kind of was like, whatever. This is how you do it. Here you go.
Since getting her license, Cheney hasn't learned to pay attention.
What about that stop sign he just blew through?
What stop sign?
Cheney hasn't learned the rules of the road.
If two cars arrive at a stop sign at the exact same time, I really don't know.
And Cheney hasn't learned that stopping while merging onto the highway can kill you.
Oh,
No, don't slam on the brakes.
But Cheney's most dangerous driving issue
selfie, selfie, selfie.
is the addiction she has to her cell phone.
Oh, Cheney.
I gotta call you back.
Oh, shit.
On the road to rehab, Cheney is oblivious.
Whoa, like what's that lady doing? She should use a crosswalk. She's gonna get hit.
You're in the crosswalk.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Look at the people behind you. You're in the crosswalk.
Oh, am I? Oopsies.
Jason, you wanna go next?
I guess if I have to.
You have to, man. Let's go.
Jason has had so many serious accidents, he's lost track of the number. Jason wishes he didn't have to drive.
I need to drive because it's the inconvenience, and I have a 12-year-old son.
Have you ever had an accident with him in the car?
Yeah, I've had a couple accidents with him in the car.
Jason's brother, Bart, thinks he'll have a couple of accidents just getting to rehab.
If we get there without a scratch, I'll be dumbfounded.
At home in Sudbury, Jason's car is so scratched, you'll be dumbfounded.
The hood and the bumper is dented. That's where I hit my fence.
This is where he hit a car, this is from a pole he hit, and this is from a parking incident.
This is ridiculous.
Hit my fence.
He's hit my parents' house a couple of times.
He's even hit a church.
This is the church I hit.
I'll let 12-year-old Jordan open your eyes as to why his dad has hit so many things.
You're kind of like blind, so you need like glasses.
How
like
do you
me.
know I'm blind?
It's hard for you to see signs.
He also can't see the color of traffic lights until he's practically in the intersection.
Oh, shoot.
On the road to rehab, Jason can't see the street signs.
You know what? I think we maybe passed it. Sakes.
Back at the start point, this year's most nervous driver is next.
Siham, you ready to go?
Don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Let's make this happen.
When Moroccan-born Siham got her driver's license in Halifax, she was a pretty average driver. Then, everything changed.
I was in a car accident about 4 years ago.
Since that crash, Siham has barely driven.
It was a 4-car pileup. I was rear-ended by 2 people.
Siham was so shaken up by the crash, it still causes anxiety that she takes 3 pills a day to combat.
So you never were on anti-anxiety medication before the crash. This is post-car accident.
Yeah.
Siham's husband, Wayne, says his wife now charges illegally through intersections.
It's her fear that makes her run stop signs and red lights because she doesn't like to use the brakes. She's worried about somebody hitting her from behind.
On the road to rehab, Siham is sweating like a racehorse and swearing like a sailor.
Now, where is your signal light, hole?
At her home in Calgary,
Why the do I need to merge?
Siham stopped driving after her accident. In the last 4 years, she's only driven 4 times. On the day we met Siham, she thought she could handle driving,
What is the speed here?
but she wound up quitting.
Oh my. No, okay, that's it for me. I'm pulling over.
On the road to rehab, Siham wants to quit again.
It's okay, okay. It's okay. No, go ahead. Just go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, pull over. Where? Oh
3 of Canada's worst drivers are on the road to rehab.
no. What is this guy doing? Oh my God.
Did he finger you?
Back at our used car lot, the 5 remaining worst driver nominees are waiting for their turn to leave.
You good to go, Tyler?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Tyler describes himself as an old man trapped inside the body of a 27-year-old.
All right, my friend. Why driver rehabilitation?
There's a few things that need work on.
Tyler is so cautious, he's hazardous.
I kind of like to slow down, maybe stop at the green solid lights.
Oh, you're one of them.
Yeah.
Q, is that true? He stops at green lights?
He tends to stop at green lights.
Q is the friend who nominated Tyler as Canada's worst driver.
He tends to wait until everyone does their thing, and then he does his thing.
En route to the Driver Rehabilitation Center,
Holy moly, this is very intimidating.
Tyler stops at the first green light he sees,
Is she crossing the road?
then waves the pedestrian to cross against her red light.
Anytime. Huh.
When he drives at home in Notre-Dame-de-l'Île-Perrot, Quebec,
Oh, are they gonna walk across the street?
stopping at green lights isn't the only strange thing Tyler does.
Walking.
You're good. Go. No, don't stop completely.
Oh, Jesus.
He also waves at cars to cut in front of him,
Go, go.
even when he has the right of way.
Go, 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 go. Oh, my God.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And Tyler never passes anyone, even when he's in the passing lane.
Oh, actually, I don't want to be in this lane. But I'm going so slow in it that now they're all passing me on that lane.
But the most confusing thing about the way Tyler travels is
Prepare for takeoff.
he's a licensed pilot.
I hate driving. Look, there's no yahoos in the middle of the road.
You good to go, Santana?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Let's get out of here.
Santana, the first Newfoundlander we've ever had on Canada's Worst Driver, lives in a town so small it has no traffic lights. Santana's license test was the easiest of all time.
I had to go on top of a hill and park, and then after that, I had to drive a circle.
That's it.
That's it.
Hit things?
Oh, all the time.
That's Jim Bob, Santana's best friend.
Not all the time, though.
All the time.
Santana, do you hit things all the time? Is that correct?
You do hit things all the time.
What do you hit?
It's like garbage cans and guardrails and small things.
Small things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm oddly proud, being from Newfoundland, that we finally have a Newfoundlander. I'm also proud that we've never had a Newfoundlander, because Newfoundlanders generally know how to drive. Santana, not so much.
No, it's a stop.
You just ran a stoplight.
I never.
You
It
did
was
stop.
slow.
You're running a red light again, Santana.
Yeah, I see that now.
You'd think a driver this unaware would focus all their attention on driving, but
Do I go?
No, not your red light. You can't.
Santana is now texting while driving.
Whoops.
At home in Port aux Basques, Newfoundland, Santana never gets behind the wheel without her cell phone in hand.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It happens.
No, it don't happen. You're not supposed to text while you're driving.
And when Santana drives to the much busier nearby city of Corner Brook, Santana still insists on clutching her cell phone.
Santana. Bye. I'm gonna pour that phone at the window.
Stop cursing me.
Ian, let's go.
All right.
The next Canada's Worst Driver nominee drives professionally.
And this is true. This is no joke. You're a taxi driver?
Licensed in Kingston.
Licensed in Kingston.
Yep.
Ian hasn't had a good year.
2 cars written off.
His friend Adam thought it was more.
How many accidents?
6 in the last year?
We've had a lot of people say, my cab driver should have been on your show, man. He was terrible. Was it him? Because he's on our show.
On the road to rehab, Ian's already making excuses.
Part of my problem with driving is my ADHD.
Cop out.
At home in Kingston, Ontario,
Rumble strip.
Ian took us on a tour of his collision sites.
Up here is where I took a left-hand turn and got hit by another car and had my Ford Focus written off. This is the green paint that I left when I hit this fire hydrant a year ago. Came around the corner, and somebody plowed right into the back of me.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Mariah, we're out of here.
22-year-old Mariah spent $7,000 on car insurance last year. Mariah pays the high price because she loves to drive.
It's always fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Is this going to be fun for you?
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Mariah's best friend, Jessica, knows of only one way to make riding with Mariah better.
You have to be really drunk.
Well, if you stop for drinks, you can have some you can't, okay?
Okay.
Instead of giving her passenger the directions to the driver rehabilitation center,
This is a one-way. This is a one-way.
Laughaholic Mariah starts by holding onto them herself.
Red light, red light, red light.
At home in Port Colborne, Ontario, Mariah is usually holding on to something when she drives. Her cell phone, and it once made her rear end a cop.
I rear-ended the cop while I was texting, and I hit his back end, and then instead of hitting the brakes, I hit the gas, and I actually drove up this back end into the window and totaled the back end of the car.
You'd think that such a disaster would scare Mariah into driving safely. But no,
I actually probably drive better doing this.
Mariah's driving habits aren't just dangerous, they're criminal.
I've hit a couple of cars and then driven away. What are you gonna do? I could really use like 5 shots of tequila right now.
Mariah is an unrepentant drunk driver.
Is this the road that I smeared yellow all over?
On one drunk driving night, Mariah swerved all over wet paint.
That's where this mark came from. Drove back over here, drove right here, and now there's marks all over my car and all over the road.
Mariah will not leave rehab until we sincerely believe she'll never drink and drive again. There's only one person still waiting to go to rehab. George, a road bully. George was recently caught street racing.
You're teaching your child to drive? Is this true? I heard this.
Yes, I'm teaching my 16-year-old son to drive.
According to George's friend Patrick, George is Canada's worst driver because
he don't care about anybody on the road. He is like, everybody move over. I'm running you over if you're too slow.
I'm running you over if you're too slow?
I like to get them out of the way or get on their ass so they do move.
You scare them away with your car?
Yeah. I know it's against law.
Get yourself to rehab, eh? Safely.
Yep.
Well, there he goes. Season 10, Canada's worst driver is on the road. Get off it if I were you.
headed for rehab.
You're doing 40 over the speed limit.
When George isn't speeding, he's texting and tailgating.
These are the people I hate. Let's drive in the fast lane and go 100.
At home in St. Catharines, Ontario, George will use the merging lane to pass people.
You're such a dick.
And he'll use the passing lane to scare people.
Stop tailgating, you moron.
George often goes 50 over the speed limit.
It's a 70, dude, and you're doing back 20.
And he often does that while watching TV shows on his phone.
Right there, it sits there nice and neatly. You get to watch TV while you're driving.
Yeah. You're dumb. I want to smash you in the face.
I slowed down for you.
What? 130. So you. Piece of shit.
When we come back.
I'm allowed to turn, right?
Yeah, it's green, Cheney.
Okay. I don't know.
Canada's worst drivers may or may not make it to rehab.
I'm on Canada's worst driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, look at the people.
Canada's worst drivers
Sorry.
are headed to the Driver Rehabilitation Center.
So is it just me, or are you also shocked that we're still here 10 years later? 10 years. And it's like dog years, too. I've aged 70 years in these 10 years.
The first person to approach is Cheney.
Turn right into the rehab center. Doesn't necessarily mean, babe, that we're taking a right. Right?
Getting here took Cheney 2.5 hours.
There you go. Cheney, first in. Just pull in, reverse into your spot.
I gotta back in.
That's what reversing means.
Reversing isn't something Cheney normally does.
Dude, help me. Oh, shit.
You're there.
Next, I'm confiscating Cheney's driver's license.
I have two. Like, I thought I lost one, so I got a new one, and then I found it.
But it means your original one is invalid. 2 licenses. Never seen the likes before. All right, welcome to rehab.
Thank you.
Jason is the next driver to arrive.
Is this it? Driver Center. Rehabilitation Center. There you go.
Getting here, Jason missed a lot of turns.
Why did you miss the turns?
He's blind.
Yeah. Is that an accurate description of your vision? You're blind?
Yes.
Does your license say, give me your license, let me see.
For some reason, Jason's driver's license doesn't require him to wear glasses.
If we get you an eye test and we get you a proper prescription, will you start wearing glasses?
Yes.
I think we got to do that right away.
Instead of following the detailed route to rehab we gave the bad drivers,
Did you use your signal?
No.
Speeding George has been using the GPS on his phone.
Wilford's next one.
If he's going to improve, George needs to do what we tell him.
What is that beep beep I hear when you're reversing?
That's my backup beeper.
Ah. Wow, what a fabulous piece of technology. That really helps you as a driver.
That's how you run over the lady.
That's how you what? Ran over the lady?
Yeah, I ran into a lady walking behind my truck.
The woman went to the hospital. George went home. Nervous Siham arrives next.
Smile because you made it.
If Siham is named Canada's worst driver, she vows to retire from driving.
I won't drive again, no.
Done.
Done.
Ian is next to arrive.
Dude, we're here.
We are?
Yep.
Then Tyler arrives.
Yay, we made it.
And then Santana shows up.
Right here.
No, don't worry. I got this now.
You sure?
Yes. No, I don't.
That means only one driver is still on the road. Mariah.
This is the most stressful thing.
Mariah's stressed now. But earlier, she was laughing about her habit of drinking and driving.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely socially unacceptable.
Yeah.
You drive like a monkey at the best of times, and then you go out and get liquored up and drive. It's beyond the pale.
Yeah.
So feel the shame, because there's something to be ashamed of by laughing about the fact that you drink and drive.
Yeah.
People are watching this show, they've had loved ones killed.
Like, I laugh at literally everything. And, like, when I talk about drinking and driving, like, yeah, I'll say it with a smile on my face, but it's not because I think it's a joke. I don't. I've done it. I don't want to do it. It's just something that I do.
Tradition states that on a 10th anniversary, you're supposed to give a gift made of aluminum.
So, here at the 10th anniversary of Canada's Worst Drivers, we're giving the nominees for our Unwanted Award the gift of, well, I'll show you. It's this. It's a car made entirely of aluminum. And we're going to be using this beautiful machine in each and every episode this season. And, well, you're probably wondering what's under there, aren't you? Well, I'll tell you, it's not an aluminum car. It's a car made entirely out of pure, unadulterated Cadillac!
This 550 horsepower beast of a machine goes from 0 to a million faster than you can say. Canada's worst drivers should not be allowed to drive that car. For their first piece of driving in our shiny Cadillac, we'll have them reverse through this laneway of rims. Then, they'll have to get turned around in this frustratingly tight concrete enclosure, and then they must drive through this simple slalom course at a speed of 60 kilometers an hour.
I'll show you how this course is done.
The reversing section starts with a wide, 30-meter-long straightaway.
Now, there's only one turn in this entire course.
And once I crawl cleanly through it, there's just another 10 meters of straightaway.
I'm gonna enter this concrete cage in reverse, and I'm gonna leave it going forward.
Doing that takes patience and a lot of inching back and forth.
Is it fun? No, it's not fun at all.
Once I get repositioned to my far right,
Whoo! That is close.
I'm able to line myself up with the exit.
I'm out, baby, I'm out!
And I'm off on the 60K an hour slalom.
Woo! Man, she scoots around a little bit. 50, that's 60. Wow, this car has power.
Woo! That slalom might be too fast for Canada's worst drivers. Watching the bad motorists, as always, will be our panel of experts. Tim Danter is back as our head driving instructor. Our resident therapist is Shamala Kiru. Philippe Laterno has returned as our high-speed driving expert. And former highway patrolman Cam Woolley is here to enlighten us on all legal matters.
When we started the show, I was still a police officer. #1 cause of serious injury and fatality crashes in Canada was impaired driving. You know, now it's distracted driving.
Santana will be the first bad driver to be assessed in our gorgeous Cadillac.
Don't worry, we bought it used for only $60,000.
When she's done, it's going to worth $60.
Here we go. Canada's worst driver, season 10.
Did you even adjust your mirrors?
No. You have to rely on the mirrors. And if you don't rely on the mirrors, well, clang diddle-a-dang.
She has absolutely no clue where the car is.
Cam is correct. Santana has absolutely no clue where the car is.
Oh, that's sad.
In fact, Santana runs the car into the exact same rim 4 times in a row.
Well, she hit it a 5th time.
I'm never getting out of this part.
Indeedy, 6. Do I hear 6? Yes. Does she hit it a 7th? Yes, she actually does.
Finally, she steers past it.
Thank God that soap opera's over. And a new one begins.
It's not easy, Jamal, I'm telling you.
In the turnaround section, Santana makes a prediction.
This is gonna have a bad scrape.
Then fulfills the prophecy.
Are you touching on this side?
No. I am touching.
Yeah, you're touching.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Trying to get out, the touch deepens.
Oh!
Whoa.
For the slalom, the foam figures are where they were during my run, but we've dropped the speed down to 50. Even so.
You killed them all.
Santana fails all aspects of her assessment.
Based on the assessment challenge, I might be Canada's worst driver.
Tyler may also be Canada's worst driver.
You're not looking in that mirror.
In the turnaround section,
Oh, fudge.
Tyler scrapes what he should be able to see.
Classic worst driver move.
I just have to do this.
Yes, you do have to do that.
Oh, that's good. Look at that.
So now that he's set the mirror, will he use it or will he finish this turn by crushing on this side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have to get through this scratchy part now there, see? Oh.
Tyler could steer out of this, but
Oh, man.
he does that instead. And on the slalom course, he does this.
That's 50 there.
Go, Tyler. Tyler has no idea how bad he is.
You hit one right in the middle of your hood.
No.
Mariah makes Canada's worst driving sounds.
Put your hands on the wheel.
You're supposed to be using your mirrors?
Yes, you're supposed to be using your mirrors. But Mariah doesn't use her mirrors on the reverse section.
No, I didn't see that. Did you see that?
And she doesn't use them in the tight turnaround section.
Ooh, that's gonna pop like a can of tuna.
Don't look at me. Look at the mirrors.
I can't see anything.
Oh.
And you drive drunk.
Driving on the 50K an hour slalom,
This is 50.
Mariah drives like she's drunk.
Shit. Person.
Mariah might be Canada's worst driver.
Oh my goodness. That was so bad.
Canada's worst drivers have been demonstrating their skill in an annual event we call the Assessment Challenge.
Oh, that's sad.
When George, a highway bully, hits our course, he does the reversing section perfectly.
You should have seen the chaos this caused other people.
In the super tight turnaround section, George again drives perfectly.
Why do people who know how to drive bully people on the highway? Why?
Because they're too slow and they get in the way. I mean, if you're in the fast lane, why are you in the fast lane if you're only doing 90 or 100?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Can't you just accept that there are stupid people in the world?
Sometimes. It depends on the day and the mood, I guess.
Just when I'm about to congratulate George on a perfect run, George is less than perfect.
I told you that straight up. You're not a bad driver, you're just a irresponsible dick.
Cheney begins by hitting the first obstacle.
Oops.
Instead of turning with skill,
What the?
every turn of the wheel for Cheney is an outright experiment. Cheney believes she's a good driver.
No, towards your side. Towards your side.
Clearly, that's an inflated opinion.
You're in the front one.
Oh, I got a flat tire.
In the turnaround section,
Oh, no.
Cheney hits so solidly,
Slowly. No.
she doesn't just scrape paint, she moves concrete.
No, don't. Don't.
On the 50K an hour slalom, she has a top speed of 30. I'm going to show you that run again. But this time I want you to just observe Cheney's fancy footwork.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Cheney might be Canada's worst driver.
Like, I didn't think I was Canada's worst driver, but like going 30 and I'm freaking out, panicking, I'm going so fast. Like, what is wrong with me?
Jason starts off worse than the rest of Canada's worst drivers.
So I get asked the same questions every year. Are they kidding? Are they really like that? Are they actors? No, they're not kidding. Yes, they're really like that. No, they're not actors. That's a real guy with a real Canadian driver's license, and he lives in a real neighborhood, just like yours. Except maybe in yours, there's slightly higher quality of driver.
In the turnaround section,
Oh, I hit it.
I learn about what Jason's hit in public.
He's rear-ended a couple people.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, the speed. They've had to go to hospital.
One reason Jason has hit so many people is that he can't see them.
Do you see me when I do this?
Barely.
Don't say barely, say yes or no. Do you see me when I put my hands over my head like this?
Yes.
I wasn't putting my hands over my head then.
Okay. I can't see.
What about now?
I can't see. No, I don't.
We've been using this symbol here for years at the rehab center. It's a big perfect sign. It means this, only it's huge. It lets people know that the course is safe from a long distance away, although he can't see it.
That's 40.
Trying to do our 50K an hour slalom.
Come on, rip it.
Jason only goes 30K an hour.
I wasn't going 50.
One thing Jason can see is into the future.
I think I will be here for a while.
Taxi driver Ian starts slower than a sloth.
Sometimes I feel like I'm on one of those nature video things. The bad driver moves very slowly on the tarmac wilderness. Crawling now, ever so stealth. You've never seen 550 horsepower move so slowly. When you become a cab driver, are there any extra tests?
Nope.
Nothing. Call me crazy, but I think you should have to do a driving test to become a professional driver. If you have your full driver's license and $150, you too be a Canadian cab driver.
What's the sound that keeps banging on the roof?
That's my brain swelling and crashing into my skull in disbelief.
Give her. On the slalom course,
Give her.
there's more unbelievable crashing.
Son of a...
Ian's assessment is that he drives like a
bitch.
I'm making Siham drive alone for the first time in 4 years. And she's not hitting anything.
Something is so close to me.
Hey, you did great.
Now let's see how she does with her husband in the car.
With her husband in the car,
Just watch that concrete wall for me.
Siham gives up control, and disaster ensues.
Oh my God.
And the slalom is even more disastrous.
You're 50. Okay, perfect. There you go. Yep, go. Sorry. Don't worry. Just don't worry.
Oh my God.
Assessing Siham's driving skills is kinda awkward.
Hey.
Canada's worst drivers have made their way to the Driver Rehabilitation Centre.
This is very intimidating.
Upon arrival,
That's sad.
I confiscated their licenses.
Thank you very much.
Now that they've completed our assessment challenge,
Shit, person.
it's time for them to meet our experts. Starting with Jason, who can't read a street sign that's 5 meters away from him.
Why did you want to come to driver rehabilitation?
To see where my weaknesses are.
Seeing is Jason's weakness.
You
need glasses, so we need to address the sight because driving is visual.
How is it that the vision was never identified as a problem?
When I got my license, I didn't need glasses.
It's amazing to me that you'd have to pass one eye test and then never again? Does it ever come up again?
When you're 80.
When you're 80?
When you're 80.
Are you serious? That's when?
When you're 80.
If Jason avoids going to the eye doctor, he can legally drive without glasses until he's 80 years old, even if he goes completely blind.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
At this point, it looks like it's a big yes.
Mariah may also be Canada's worst driver based on the amount of damage she did to our Cadillac.
But damage is something you're familiar with, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of damage.
I do.
Mariah also does a lot of laughing. She laughs when most people would cry.
Yeah.
Can you be too happy?
I guess what I'm curious about is how genuine is it?
I don't know.
Like, are you actually connected to what you're talking about?
Probably not. I giggle at everything. I
Like
could see
driving
that.
under the influence.
Yeah.
Can we agree that it's not funny?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right. But when you talk about it,
Yeah,
your reaction would be, what would I see?
completely the opposite. Like, that's the thing.
You know it's the #1 criminal cause of death in Canada?
I didn't know that.
You know if you're in a collision and somebody's injured, you're likely doing jail time.
I didn't really think about it before, but yeah.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
I don't believe so.
Do any of this year's nominees believe they are Canada's worst driver?
I think I may be Canada's worst driver.
No, I don't think I'm Canada's worst driver.
No. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I could be Canada's worst driver.
This is only our first episode. Nobody ever graduates in our first episode. That honor will go to one of you, though, next time. Until then, let me just say, one of these people, well, you know what I'm gonna say. One of them is Canada's worst driver.
On the next episode of Canada's Worst Driver, we learn how well the nominees can reverse in a straight line.
Oh, shit.
We test them on their knowledge of where their wheels are.
Ah, frig.
And the foam really flies.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
On our annual Eye of the Needle Challenge.
Oh, crap.